Hello everybody, this is Funny Bob and welcome to race number 23 of the 2020-21 NROL Skittles Cup Series season. This is the MBTA Triple Cup Challenge race number 3 at the Papyrus Motorsports Park. We've seen a Siemens Nash Series race, we've seen a truck race, and they both have been rather interesting races with some drafting, some sausages, some full wide action late in the race. So, what are we going to see in this Cup Series race? I have absolutely no idea, but we're about to find out, and it will be interesting to see who prevailed as the winner this time by. So, let's waste no time to give you a starting grid for this race. Starting the pole for this one is Oliver Alonso, second is Kurt Busch, third is Kyle Busch, fourth is Eric Jones, fifth is Clint Boris, sixth is Florian Bobbin, seventh is Brad Keselowski, eighth is Eric NROL, ninth is Matt DiBenedetto, 10th is Mark Truex Jr., 11th is Matt Kenseth, 12th is Cole Custer, 13th is Doug, 14th is Donald, 15th is Brian Blaney, 16th is Mia, 17th is William Byron, 18th is Perry Sharp, 19th is Tyler Reddick, 20th is Christopher Bell, 21st is Brian Priest, 22nd is Joey Logano, 23rd is the Relix Box Nerd, 24th is Douglas, 25th is Kevin Harvick, 26th is Denny Hamlin, 27th is Tim Tom, 20th is Alex Bowman, 29th is Rebecca, 30th is Chris Buescher, 31st is Russell David, 32nd is Chase Elliott, 33rd is Bank Coaches, 34th is Gretchen, 35th is Jimmy Johnson, 36th is Ryan Newman, 37th is Austin Zone, 38th is Ricky Shells Jr., 39th is Bob Walls, 40th is Mr. Light's brother, 41st is James Hicks, and 42nd is Mr. Lighty. Alrighty then. So yes, very strong paint scheme field, and of course, driver field as well. Both get Russell David as well running a special after running. I mean, this would be the usual thing, by the way, but yes, you have Russell David running yet another Amtrak 50 Years of Connecting America special paint scheme. This time it is the Midnight Blue paint scheme, which I know doesn't make a lot of sense since we're running in the daytime. We're actually running under a bunch of clouds, but nah, don't worry about the details. Alright. And Eric Jones up here as well. Actually, a decent pack. Actually, I've just realized 3 out of the 4 drivers racing for the MBTA Triple Cup Challenge all happen to be in the top 10. So how about that, MBTA drivers? Starting to happen in the field. One of which happens to be Oliver, which is last week's winner. Erie is running up here in second on the front row with Kurt Busch. So it will definitely be interesting to see who takes home the MBTA cash prize this week. So far we've had I forget already. Well, so far we've had a certain couple of drivers win the MBTA Triple Cup Challenge. Unfortunately, another drivers that qualified for the MBTA Triple Cup Challenge this week qualified, or for another driver from last week qualified for this week's race. So, so whoever wins the cash prize is gonna win the cash. Yeah. Although, could we see something that we have yet to see an MBTA driver actually win an MBTA race? Well, we almost saw in the Truck Series race yesterday. Oh yeah, Donald, he's another qualifier. He's actually starting pretty up at those both. So, hey, MBTA Triple Cup driver is actually racing up front, at least to start. We'll see how long they'll be able to stay up front throughout the day. And yes, I haven't mentioned all weekend, but purple walls. Yes. Alright, here we go. This is the last MBTA race of the Triple Cup Challenge. Last race at an MBTA track as a whole. Yeah, soak in these purple walls as much as you can, because this will be the last time of the season you're going to see these. Okay, as I try to bang the sausages, pace car pulls off, and here we go. Green flag is in there for the MBTA Triple Cup Challenge race number 3 at the Papyrus Motorsports Park. Kurt Busch gets a flying start all over in a bit of a battle with Eric Jones. There's going to be quite the start. And Eric Jones now getting into second. Clint Boyer there as well. There you go, the first banked corner. So Oliver started on the front row, has already fallen back down to 4th. And Kurt Busch pulling out the lead. Eric Jones and others, yeah, Phil just filing out. Yes, sir. Alright, so here we go. First lap of the day. Gonna go to Kurt Busch though with the field goal. We're going 3 wide for the lead. The race has only just started and we are already seeing 3 wide action for the lead. As Clint Boyer is gonna go straight to first. And Oliver gonna fall in behind in second. Now Oliver up to second place. And here is Eric Jones falling behind as well in third. So unless the first couple races in the MBTA Triple Cup times, we have MBTA drivers actually racing up here. So hey, we can see the race for the lead and also the race for the MBTA cash. As Eric Jones tried to go beneath Oliver through this corner here, but unfortunately not quite able to put together. But he might have a chance here coming off of coming into the final corner. Not quite. Oliver gonna hold his ground for now. Oliver up, duck. I mean, Eric Jones looking low on Oliver. Let's get a couple of Source Motorsports 2 drivers that competed for the qualified for the MBTA Triple Cup Challenge. But once again, I'm going 3 wide this time for second. As Kyle Busch going all the way to the low line. Kyle Busch finally driving a purple car. He's not qualified for the challenge, as you can see, but he has a purple car for a purple race. And he's now up to second place. Meanwhile, his brother Kurt Busch not too far behind. And here is Fronito Bobbin. For a second, we're going to roll looking pretty good in the race. He's going to shuffle to the high line. He's actually going to try to get to Kurt Busch. Oh, they touched a little bit. Luckily, no crashing, but they did make a little tiny bit of contact. But Eric Jones up to Eric Jones in third. Oh, now the lead battle is going to shape up as Kyle Busch now looking for a way around Clint Boyer. And here comes Kyle Busch to try to find a way around Clint Boyer on the front straightaway. And yes, there he goes. Oh, a little bit sketchy. Clint Boyer actually tried to shut the door on Kyle Busch, but couldn't quite do it in time. And Kyle Busch now to the lead at Papyrus. Meanwhile, Eric Jones in second place. Although he's got Clint Boyer behind him, or below him. And Kurt Busch actually tried to get into the section as well, but just decided to stay back for now. Probably a good idea, actually, because we're still pretty early on in the race. Oh yeah, so don't really need to be battling right now. We still have a decent number of laps. Well, this race is only just started. I guess there's something else that's worth mentioning. We saw one pit stop cycle in the Siemens National Series race, but we did not see any pit cycles from the Truck Series race. I think the Truck Series was a shorter race than the Siemens National Series, but this Cup race happens to be longer than the Siemens National Series, so we will likely see one pit stop cycle and one opportunity for drivers to really shuffle positions. Yeah, because once we do pit stops, some drivers will come, some drivers will go, and some drivers will stay. Meanwhile, Kyle Busch actually did a pretty good job at leading that lap on the front straightaway, although right now he's under a bit of a battle with his Joker's Racing teammate of Eric Jones. Not often we see teammates battle in this series or any of these series actually. Although just yesterday though we saw Thorsport helping each other out. Same for GMS Racing, helping each other out a little bit in the truck race. And now we got Joe Gibbs Racing helping each other out in this race. So Kyle Busch actually doing a pretty good job at holding the lead in this race. That's not too common. That's not too common from what we've seen this weekend. I mean, usually see a driver leading the race, coming off the final quarter, but then they lose the lead because of something. And another thing worth mentioning, as Clint Boyer though going to get a run around Eric Jones. We saw drivers clipping the wall on the front straightaway so far in the first two races, but we're not seeing that today. This is actually good news for anyone out in first. Around that person out in first is Kyle Busch. This whole weekend though, we have never seen a driver lead more than 2 consecutive laps. Like a driver might lead a couple laps in a row, but then they lose the lead in the following lap. Like we still have yet to see someone lead 2 consecutive laps in a race here at the Papyrus Motorsports Park this season. But Kyle Busch looking pretty good. It might just be the driver that can lead a decent number of laps in a row here at the Papyrus Motorsports Park. Although right now he's got Clint Boyer behind him. Clint Boyer looking very low on Kyle Busch. It's like Boyer those going to stay behind. Oh no, Kyle Busch scraped the wall a little bit. Scraped the wall a little tiny bit, gave a little bit of an edge to Clint Boyer. Kyle Busch now having to defend his position going to the second corner. And it looks like he will not. He's going to get sent to the high line. This is new. Clint Boyer now, no, they're still going. And now Eric Jones trying to get into this fight a little bit. Well, it'll be interesting to see how they do going into this corner here. And Clint Boyer just going to pull out a little bit. Here's for the moment, trying to get a piece of Eric Jones. We're actually seeing some drivers that looked pretty good just last week at the April Super Speedway, so it's nice to finally see some consistency, at least a little bit of consistency from the drivers. I mean, this track isn't too different from April, although April was like a full-on Super Speedway. It was full throttle throughout the whole thing. This is just, like I was saying, this is more of like a road course that drives like an oval, but even it's not like a full oval, or not like a full throttle oval. You still have to let off the throttle a little bit to the corners. A little bit of stuff, a lot of stuff going on as Clint Boyer escapes the wall, goes too high, and Eric Jones with a bit of help from Fronito Bombin. Eric Jones now to the lead. Actually, drivers are getting down the brakes a little bit going to that corner. Eric Jones on the front, and Fronito Bombin looking behind to find a way around him. And Eric Jones, though, out in front. The first time in the Cup Series I've seen an MBTA driver be, or at least run up here early on, or at all. I mean, just last week, there were MBTA drivers, but you probably wouldn't really know it if I didn't tell you, because last week we didn't really see any of the 4 MBTA drivers run up here. But just a week later now, you have Eric Jones, who finished top 4 last week. He's not running up front this week. Fronito Bobbin, though, looking hungry for the lead. And Fronito Bobbin has been quite a few races now since he last won a race. Kyle Busch trying to get there first. But Fronito Bobbin going to shut the door on him, and Fronito Bobbin, oh, he's having to fight off the Joe Gibbs party. But it looks like he's going to have the position for now, and Fronito Bobbin to the lead at the Papyrus Motorsports Park. I guess it's worth mentioning, Fronito Bobbin, he was actually contention to win last year's edition of this race. But in the end, he couldn't close the deal because he hit the wall too many times. Look, this year, we've lowered some things, so drivers aren't hitting the wall anywhere near as much. So Fronito Bobbin might actually have a shot at winning this year's edition of this race. I say this year's edition is a slightly different version because, you know, this wasn't like an MBTA race last season. But this year, MBTA has decided to step up to sponsor all the races in Massachusetts, and here we are. Last year we had blue walls, this year we got purple walls. So in front of all, we're going to lead a lamp here this time by. Meanwhile, battle for second though. Now breaks on between a couple of Jacob's driver in front of Bob, and no, he scrapes the wall. But he's going to hold the position. Meanwhile, Kurt Busch, a little bit of brotherly love going on here now for third. Now here's Brad Keselowski up here as well. And Fronito Bobbin still prevailing as the leader. Also going here, Brad Keselowski trying to get a bit of a run on Kyle Busch coming out of this corner here. Not quite able to seal the deal though. And Fronito Bobbin now out in front. I think people just want to see Fronito Bobbin get back to victory lane. It's insane he's only won a single race this year. So he's only up there with the likes of drivers that have only gotten a single win this year. You know, the past couple weeks we've gotten 2 repeat winners. I think it was Eric Jones going beneath Fronito Bobbin, and Kurt Busch trying to get there as well. A little bit of bargy going on. That's Kurt Busch going all the way to the inside lane. And Kurt Busch going to make it stick. Kurt Busch goes to the lead. Well, he got Eric Jones behind him. And Kurt Busch, now it's the lead. But Eric Jones is still there. But yeah, last couple weeks, it's worth mentioning. We've had a couple repeat winners. You know, Tyler Reddick winning at Hillside. Oliver winning at 8 Bull. That being said, though, not too many repeat winners up here. We got Kurt Busch and Eric Jones who haven't actually won a race at all. Brad Keselowski only has a single win. Actually, that still counts. Brad Keselowski has a win. He could become a repeat winner this week. Same for Oliver, not Kyle Busch, Clint Boyer, Matt Benedetto. Actually, a decent number of repeat winners up here now. But right now, the top 2 hasn't won a race, and Kurt Busch actually did a pretty good job of holding the lead in that straightaway. I really want to see drivers lead more laps, though. I mean, it's like they lead 2 laps, and then they get overtaken on the next lap after that. Anyway, so Kurt Busch. Seems the field always gets the wall going through that corner there. But at least there's only 2 corners now where they actually get the wall. Because when I did my first attempt of the Siemens Natch Series race here, they hit the wall on almost every corner. Luckily now it's been lowered down to only 2 corners. You know, 1 corner where they hit the wall every single time, whereas the front straightaway, we're here in the Cup Series, it seems that they're only hitting this wall on occasion. Oh, here we go, battling stuff. I mean, Kurt Busch hits the wall now, and will allow Eric Jones to pass him on by for first place. And here's Oliver up here as well. Couple of MBTA drivers. This could turn into not only the race for the win, but the race for some bonus cash. As Eric Jones holding that lead for now. Eric Jones actually still yet to win a race in his tenure at Joe Gibbs Racing. Meanwhile, Oliver, a repeat winner, as he just won last week. Actually, April Super Speedway. Could Oliver go 2 wins in a row? have another back-to-back winner in this season. Well, we might try. Eric Jones has a little bit of a gap now on the straightaway, so he's going to keep the lead this time by. Kurt Busch, though, now going with the move. And Kyle Busch falling behind as well. Kurt Busch, though, going to go to the high line, and Kyle Busch taking the low line. And ultimately, nobody actually going to gain any spots here. Wow. So that's not going to work. No spots gained. Here comes Martin Truex Jr. A third JGR car is coming up. Martin Truex Jr. ultimately was the driver that actually won last year's edition of this race. Well, technically, last season's edition of this race, but you know. So, you know, it's been a while. It's been a very long time actually since we've seen this many JGR cars running up front. But the MBTA Ridge on NROL actually looks below him on going into the final corner. And he is now going to try to fight him off some more, going to the front straightaway. He's going to have a run here. Pretty good run. And there he goes. Oliver goes to the low line and overtakes Eric Jones. And now the Busch brothers going with him as well. And Eric Jones out to front. Or out to the front. Now the JGR guys all together. Oh, here's Matt the Bandana, a little bit of Penske battling going on. But right now the JGR guys are now running together. A big idea for them to work together. I mean, I think that Kyle Busch and Martin Truex might want to try to propel their youngest driver to a win in the MBTA Triple Cup Challenge. Oh no, Kyle Busch actually might ditch his teammate here. Joe Gibbs might not be happy about that one. So Oliver leads this time by. And Eric Jones now dives below Kurt Busch to try and take second place again. You know, we've done 6 editions of these dash MBTA triple races. I mean, the Truck Series and now the Cup Series. And the first time that I've actually seen a couple MBTA triple challenge drivers, who are racing not only for the bonus cash prize, but also for the win in the race. That's it, Oliver. Oliver won last week's race. Can he go 2 in a row and become the 3rd driver of the season to win 3 races? Yeah, because we actually have 2 drivers that won 3 races. Ryan Blaney and Tyler Reddick. And Oliver got a 2nd win of the season just last week. And now could he go 2 wins in a row? And have 3 wins on the season now. Could Oliver compete for the championship? Now, of course, wins won't guarantee you a championship, but they will at least help. As Oliver does a pretty good job this time of actually defending his position. Eric Jones still trying to get to him. But I am quite impressed by the driving from Oliver today. A big question still remains, though, you know. I will say we've had quite a lot of unpredictable races this season alone. I mean, so many races where you just have no idea who's going to win until the very last lap. You know, some races, yeah, you have been able to see it from miles off, but others, you just don't know until the white flag flies, and even then, you still might not know, because they could always do something crazy in the last lap as a whole. And yeah, once again, still going battling as Eric Oliver Trolliver. Yes, Oliver Trolliver hits the wall, or escapes the wall. I mean, not hits it, but you know. And Eric Jones now back to the front. Eric Jones still looking for his first win of the season. So we've gone 2 for 2 for repeat winners, but as for 3 for 3, well, depends on what Eric Jones can do, pretty much. But as of right now, so quite a bit of time left. Kurt Busch though with an early run. Not every day you see that, or not every lap you see that. But here is Kurt Busch now going around Eric Jones in the last corner of the race. And Kurt Busch going to lead this lap. Now, this was the final lap, that would have been a lot more meaningful. But still got a ways to go. I think pit stops might not be too far from now. That's really going to change this race. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what happens when pit stops begin. As for right now, though, Kurt Busch back to first. And he loved that lap. It's like they're going to lead this one, too. You know, I want to see more passes, though, in the final corner. Rather than in the first corner. Because, I mean, yeah, overtakes are important wherever you are on the racetrack. But, you know, it's good to get practice before the final lap. Or before the start-finish line, I mean, oh my goodness. Before the start-finish line, because then, if you're in a good position, you can snatch the lead in the final corner on the final lap and win the race. That's what Kurt Busch did here, except he did it quite a ways before the end of the race. I mean, we still have 12, 13 laps to go. Meanwhile, Oliver was able to get around Kurt Busch on the first corner. Yet another first corner overtaking this race. It's Oliver now up there indeed. Lost a couple more JGR cars getting up here. Martins Jr., Eric Jones all doing the thing. Martins Jr. surprisingly hasn't won a race yet this season. All in due time, it seems. Also, maybe that's Rebecca. On the road, that might mean pit stops for the leaders coming up. Anyways. So, Oliver leads. Pretty good lead, actually, coming into this corner here. And here we go. I didn't really mean to foreshadow pit stops. Actually, decent drivers coming in and staying out. And Eric Jones actually getting a run on Kurt Busch going into the first corner here. Well, it seems to say it'll be interesting to see who cycles out where when everyone pits. But for now, Eric Jones leads this one. So half the field pitted, half the field didn't. And here is Eric Jones still on the front. This has probably been Eric Jones' most impressive performance that he's put up this whole entire season. By the way, spoiler kind of camouflaged with the purple walls. I actually quite like purple. Alright, here we go again. Leaders pitting. It's like all the main drivers coming down this time. Fine. Almost, actually, Rebecca, she didn't. Well, she pitted a couple laps ago, so she doesn't have to pit here. Okay. So now we're actually going to go back a bit. And check out who is actually leading. That looks like it's now passed over to Martin Truex Jr. This isn't like the same as Nash's race where everyone pitted at the same time. Now it's only a few select drivers. Sherwood Jones, Martin Jr. currently being scored for 17, but he'll likely be back up there once pit stops fully cycle through. They're likely going to get back together here once pit stops fully cycle through. Alright, here we go. Yep, the field in front is rolling off. Here we go. Alright, the field is about to meet up. And Martin Truex Jr. might have the lead here. But Eric Jones was actually pretty fast off of pit road. And Eric Jones now has the once again opportunity to battle with the leaders. He's going to set into third. So now it's just like pit stops never really happened. Although, well, tires going to be a little bit fresher, so that's something. Alright, so Martin Truex Jr. leads the field for now. So now it's time to do some more battle for the last 10 laps of the race. Probably going to be a pretty long 10 laps, though. Alright, so Martin Truex Jr. going to lead the pack this time by. He's actually got a humongous gap somehow between him and the guys behind. A bit of a two-car race between Martin Truex Jr. and Oliver. Actually, Oliver going to try to get a run on Martin Truex Jr. this time by him. Look at that. Oliver, pretty smart move on Martin Truex Jr. and Oliver trying to get to the lead, though it's still side by side on this little straightaway here. They come to the next Banks corner. Martin Jr. might have the spot here. Yes. No, it's not. No, it's looking like coming out of the corner here. Pretty good battle for the lead here. Oh, Trace might lose out here though. Yep. Now we're going to succeed in overtaking Martin Truex Jr. for the lead. A hiccup there. Alright, so the field is slowly getting back together now. So Oliver leads them for now. As did Martin Truex Jr. the previous lap. Truex just gonna stay behind Oliver this time by. Probably a good idea actually. There's still a good idea actually because there are still a few laps left in this race. But in both series, Oliver has been the best performing driver that's qualified for the MBTA Triple Challenge. Like in all the MBTA Challenge races we've ran so far, Oliver has been the most dominant of all the qualifiers in a single race. As Oliver, not only did he just qualify last week, he won last week's race. And it looks like he might just win another one. Well, the field's getting back close together. And here goes Martrix Jr. now to the low line on Oliver. Now going side by side to the first corner. And Martrix Jr. trying to find the position here. Yeah, there he goes. Martrix Jr. now overtakes Oliver. And will lead this time by. No, Eric Jones getting back up here though. So it's like they never been. They're already back together and gonna fight for some cash and some points as well. It's definitely gonna be very interesting to see how this race turns out in the end. Alright. So Clint Boyer and drivers behind actually starting to catch up. And Oliver and Eric Jones actually can go below, or try to go below of Martin Sr. And they go 3 wide for the lead. Not the first time we've seen that this weekend. But Eric Jones going to get up to first, and Clint Boyer getting into this fight a little bit as well. That field is getting closer together now. Wow, Martin Jr. going to go from the lead back down to 4th. Now a couple MBTA drivers are running 1-2. That's it. These are the only MBTA drivers that are really that good today. I haven't seen the other 2 MBTA drivers. I guess they're just being sausages, but I guess they don't really matter too much in this challenge now because you've got 2 of them running 1 and 2. So yeah, again, this is what we saw in the Truck Series race, but now we're seeing it even more in this Cup Series race. Not just a race for cash, it's a race for a win. Although Clint Boyle might try to spoil the party here. Oh, he's going to go with Oliver though on the inside lane. He's going to go very much on the inside lane. And it looks like for another lap, we're going to have a 3 wide race for the lead. And Clint Boyer he's gonna search himself all the way up to the front. And Clint Boyer, a driver that I've barely spoken about today, is now up in front. You know, that's actually been a bit of a repeating thing here, though, at Papyrus, where a driver that I don't speak much about for the whole race then comes to life in the final laps. I mean, it's never too late. Well, until the race is actually over, it's never too late to get up to the front. But, I mean, we had a surprise winner though. Keyshawn Richardson, the Siemens Nice race, that didn't even speak about him for that whole race until he came up front. In the truck race, I mean, I didn't really speak that much about Grant Enfinger, and he won that race. I think it was Enfinger anyways. Yeah, it was Enfinger that won. And now Boyer. Clint Boyer. But that being said, however, this race is still wide open. Here we go once again. Oh, Truex, he looks like he's gonna... Well, he tried to go low. He might at least make up a spot on Clint Boyer, though. 5 laps to go. Still anybody's race. How much longer can Oliver hold these guys off? Eric Jones. Now he lost the battle a little bit. He's trying to get back up front now. Battling with Clint Boyer here. So Eric Jones trying to get back up to lead the battle with Oliver. Because once again, it's a battle for cash and a battle for the win. Nope. Eric Jones can't quite make his way around Martrix Jr. This time through the corner, although it looks like he will. Yep, he's gonna come out on the front straightaway. 4 laps to go. This is it. 4 laps to go. 4 laps to determine a winner. Oliver prevails for now. But how long until somebody behind him challenges? Well, I mean, we still got 3.5 laps. 3.5 laps left, technically. Man, it's still wide open. You know, we've seen the case where a track can provide 2 very different races, and then other cases where a track can provide some pretty similar races. That's what we've seen this weekend. Some similar races, similar outcomes for the Siemens Series, Truck Series race, and now the Cup race. Here's Mark Trix Jr. And Eric Jones goes low as well. 3 laps to go. 3 laps to determine a winner. And 3 laps, Eric Jones out in front. Like we're going to hold them off for the rest of the lap here. As Phil's mostly single file at this point. Can't really determine who's going to pass where. So we have to get to the front straightaway. Or the final corner. You know, if we could see what we saw from Kurt Busch earlier on, that'd be cool. Speaking of Kurt Busch, he's actually nowhere near in the top 10 now. Wow. Well, like I would say, with pit stops, some drivers will come, some drivers will go. And Kurt Busch, one of the drivers that went. Martin Jr. always planning on his attack on his own teammate Eric Jones. This time we're going to have 2 laps to go. And both the drivers in the top 2 actually scraped the wall there. Clint Boyer getting a little bit into the action there. But no lead change. As Oliver, though, going to try to make a pass on Clint Boyer. And there he goes, Oliver, with a pass on Clint Boyer. Oliver trying to set up a double overtake. Oh, he's got to hold off Clint Boyer going through this corner, though. This corner's a bit tricky. Yep, Oliver having to hold off Boyer, and it looks like he will. All with more momentum than Boyer off of the corner. Alright, here we go. There just has a bit of a gap on Martin Trix Jr. Like that might close up here. Clint Boyer actually helping out Oliver a little bit. But ultimately, Eric Jones gonna have a decent gap on Martin Trix Jr. and others. And here we go. White flag. 1 more lap to go at Papyrus Motorsports Park. 1 more lap for Eric Jones to hold off the drivers behind him. And Eric Jones actually on his way to cruising to his first career NROL Skittles Cup Series victory. And he's about to do it as an MBTA driver. A driver that qualified for the MBTA Triple Cup Challenge, excuse me. And now he's got a bit of a gap, so all he has to do now is bring it home. Yep, if Eric Jones can just keep this gap up, he pretty much has it in the bag. Here we go, second to last corner. All the drivers behind them might play a 2-car tango. Let's see. Final corner. Eric Jones has a pretty good gap. And it looks like he's going to maintain that gap. Final straightaway. Yep. They just can't quite put together. Eric Jones will get his first career NROL Skittles Cup Series victory in the MBTA Triple Cup Challenge, race number 3 at the Papyrus Motorsports Park. And he does it as an MBTA driver. How about that? So Aaron Jones, he wins the race and he wins the cash. A double good day for Aaron Jones. Pretty good driving as well to hold off the leaders for just the last couple of laps. Well, there you have it. So I guess now to give you your finishing grid in the race. So Aaron Jones comes on with the victory. Wins the cash, wins the race. With Martin Jr.'s teammate coming second, Clint Boyd third, Kyle Busch fourth, Oliver fifth, William Byron sixth, Matt Bennett seventh, Chris Buescher eighth, Brad Keselowski ninth, Matt Kenseth 10th, Ben Coach 11th, Fernando Bob 12th, Kevin Harvick 13th, Denny Hamlin 14th, Doug 15th, Willis Spencer 16th, Tim Tom 17th, Kurt Busch 18th, Alex Bowman 19th, Ryan Blaney 20th, Eric Gamboa 21st, Cole Custer 22nd, Ricky Silverstone 23rd, Nia 24th, Russell David 25th, Kurt Jordan 26th, Jimmy Johnson 27th, Daniel 6 20th, Bruce up 29th, Bob Walsh 30th, Donald 31st, Rebecca 32nd, Douglas 33rd, Tyler Reddick 34th, Mr. Light 35th, Austin Dillon 36th, Mr. Light's brother 37th, Ryan Newman 38th, Joey Logano 39th, Christian Bell 40th, Chase Elliott 40th, 41st, and Ryan Preece is in 42nd. Oh dear, another good day for Ryan Preece. But at least a good day for Aaron Jones. So, yeah, that's it from the MBTA challengesms, MBTA racisms. That came off a little bit weird. But, yeah, the MBTA challenge of sausages has come to a close for this season. We will likely be back next season if we were to do another season, well, another televised season anyways. But, yes, that's it for the MBTA challenge. Although that's not quite it for the state of Massachusetts. No. We got one more race in the state of Massachusetts. That'll be, of course, it'll be like a normal-ish race. Like, it won't be a special challenge race, but it will be a rather interesting race, to say the least. That is coming up, though, next week. But that's all for this week of racing. That's all for Papyrus Motorsports Park. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in whatever I make next.